So Alex Jones has no listeners and is not important and is not on AM and FM stations. And then people go, look, I'm on over 100.
He doesn't exist because he's not on media controlled by the government.
But the difference is I'm on over 160, but we've been more successful in the free market internet. The point is that they lie incessantly.
Yeah.
They lie incessantly, and you're right. They operate like they think they're in a vacuum.
But you can lie if nobody can cross-check you. Right, but people don't, like, my website got banned in the armed services too, and the number of military listeners to my show went through the roof.
Oh, that's what I'm telling you. Didn't they know when they ordered the Pentagon in like 99, 2008? I mean, suddenly I had this giant audience, and suddenly I was being given all this info that turned out to be accurate. People leaking, you know, just basic stuff, not like secrets, but what was going on. Because they didn't like the training they were being given to take on Americans. Sure. They heard a guy saying it was bad. They knew I was telling the truth. Then they're told, don't listen to this guy. Then they come in and say, you're going to get run or get PT duty if we find any more of these films here. Suddenly, everyone was watching them.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the system thinking?
It's the delusion of control. The technology has bypassed.
It's the Streisand effect.
I'm sorry, what now?
You know, the Streisand effect where she kept threatening to sue bloggers, don't say where I live, don't talk about me. So it brought all this attention to it, made it 1,000 times bigger.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I'm saying, literally, that shows how screwed up these people are. I mean, I don't mean to keep marveling about it. It's just that what you're saying is true.
Well, they inhabit the state, which is an institution that is so ancient, it's ridiculous. It's just an outgrowth of warlords and witch doctors from the Stone Age. They inhabit the state, which is retro, and they have had so much monopoly control over the media that I think that they still don't quite grasp just how porous information has become now. Sure. And how, I mean, you know, it's like you put a tiny pebble in a stream and you think you're damming the whole stream. No, everything just goes around it. I mean, there's no rock big enough to dam the flow.
Well, I mean, here's an example. I learned early on with stalkers or people in the media that make stuff up who wanted attention, smaller people than me, making stuff up, don't respond, they go away. You give them attention, it gives them attention, they do it more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, that's 101. I'm not that smart, I know that. How can the system not know that?
Well, remember, they're also playing to an older audience. I think younger people are much more open to principled ideas of freedom than older people, to some degree. And I think what they're doing is they're playing to an audience that themselves do not understand how widely porous the flow of information has become. So what they're saying, the people are saying, well, we don't want our kids seeing these Second Amendment things. It's like, well, we talk to Facebook and it's taken care of. And people are like, hey, I'm over 50. That sounds plausible to me because, you know, when they weren't allowed to show it on TV, they weren't allowed to show it on TV and nobody knew about it. Or when it wasn't allowed.
Yeah, don't they get by banning Super Bowl ads that are pro-gun, by arresting kids that draw a picture of a gun at school, they only make it sexier? Because let me tell you, with the liberal trendies, the sexiest thing now is to go square dancing, two-stepping, buy guns, become a hillbilly. We're actually winning with the young liberals. They're waking up and becoming libertarians.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen for the power structure because it's not going well.
Well, the other thing, too, is that I think the government control of the schools have become so complete, so absolute. This started in the 60s when you could no longer fire teachers, and it just became so absolute. And I don't think people really remember or understand that when young people think of the state, they think of the school. And the experiences they have in the school are so uniformly negative these days. I mean, it was pretty bad when I was a kid.
That was horrible when I was in.
Yeah, but it's become even worse now. Like, I mean, in the 30 years since I was in high school, I mean, it's become exponentially worse. And like now, as you know, they're built by the same people who build prisons.
It's a mind control facility.
Yeah, it is a prison. It is an actual prison that you're forced to go to. And so I think the government is used to this patriotic blah, blah, blah. But teenagers now understand that it's the government that runs their lives as teenagers. It's the government that makes them go to school.
And they're rebelling against mommy and daddy now, but the state is their mommy and daddy. They're going to rebel against the state.
Raised by the state. They've been put in state institutions from about the age of 3 or 4 onwards. And so when the state tells them stuff, all the rebellion that used to go to mom and dad in the 50s is now going to the state. What a beautiful situation to be in. What a great fomenting, wonderful lava pool we've got to inject some reason and passion into and to wake people up.
Because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah. Hey, imagine if high school went on forever. Well, welcome to the modern government. You know, if that doesn't make...
You know, I have a recurring nightmare that I still have where I'm back in high school.
Do you still have that one where you didn't study for some test?
Yeah.
I still have those. Yeah.
And like, I'll be like, the nightmare is I'm 30 as a senior.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, my God, I'm an idiot. I've got to get out of here.
That's a great line.
Do the rest of the hour with us. You got some lunch coming for you.
Okay,
we're going to come back, I promise, and go to Fred and go to Dave. You've been real troopers. And go to Todd, Robert, and another Fred and Todd. And then we're going to get your review of House of Cards.
Yeah, okay.
Stefan Molyneux is our guest. I'm Alex Jones. Freedom Domain Radio. We'll be right back.
You've been hearing about the amazing benefits of Heart and Body Extract for many years. Now, hear from the co-founder.
My name is Tony Knudsen, and I am the co-founder of Heart and Body Extract. We've been in business for over 13 years now.
With thousands of satisfied customers who have experienced the amazing benefits but never experienced a price hike.
We've kept consistent pricing the whole entire time the company's been in business, and will continue to do so.
Call today for Heart and Body Extract, 866-295-5305, or visit hbextract.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the InfoWar at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Let's go to your phone calls. Then we're going to give you Stefan Molyneux's take on House of Cards that I have not yet watched, but everyone keeps telling me about, so most propaganda is in movies and TV, not in the news, and I'm kind of blind because I only focus on news. I should focus more on the propaganda in films, but that discussion coming up in the next segment after calls. Fred in Wisconsin, you're a trooper for holding. You're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Wanted to ask you and your guest, you have an uncanny ability to predict the future based on the events going on right now. And I see all these young people, California, signing up for these medical marijuana cards, and I see it spreading across the United States. And I believe that if legalization happens, if it really does come across, that this is going to lead to gun confiscation later, and that all these databases are being built because it's still against the federal law to have a gun and be under the influence of marijuana, regardless of what the states say. And I think it's going to be a big problem, and I didn't get my first gun until I was 25. So I think it's just going to lead to a future gun confiscation problem, especially if they lose all the money.
Sure. And I want to be clear about this whole gun issue. The guns are important, but the reason we obsess on it is when they come to try to take them, it's because they're going to take the First Amendment, the Fourth, the 10th, everything else, which just symbolize rights that were already inalienable and already existed. And the point is that they go, oh, we're friends, just let us register them, and then they always confiscate them. And so, yes, undoubtedly the plan is to take our guns. But as Stefan said, so they have the monopoly. What's a bank robber do when he comes in? He says, hands up, and he takes the gun away from the security guard. Yep. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're securing what they've hijacked, what they've usurped. And I, at an instinctive level, do not want to be usurped. Stefan?
You know that the system is about to crash when they try to grab the guns. That is always what happens. Because when the system crashes, the dependent classes get kind of angry. Where's the welfare check? Where's the social security check? Where my money's being inflated right out of my bank account. I can't buy food. I mean, this is what happened in Ukraine. Ukraine, the average GDP per person is like $3,500 or $4,000 compared to Poland, which is $30,000 or $40,000 because they've got such a corrupt regime. The Arab Spring was because the price of wheat went up 3 times. They couldn't afford to eat. So when you've got a dependent class, which has been fostered for the last 30 years, when you're about to run out of money, you've got to grab those guns. Otherwise, you could be facing some significant... And
I want to explain something. It is massive centralization that allows runs on banks, that allows starvation, that allows deflation, inflation. If you have a truly diverse, free, multi-crop economy, you have some problems, but you just get richer and richer. History shows. The problem is ever getting to that point where you get government and regulators out of your hair and have a virtuous society, then it's like a perpetual motion machine. But again, then you become decadent. It's the same cycle. Anything else, caller?
I would just keep my name off that list as long as possible to see what they actually do. But
well, yeah, I mean, folks, you can get guns anywhere in the U.S. without getting them through a registration system. In most areas, it's legal to buy from a private seller. Me, I'm so prominent anyways. I go buy guns with a background check. Why do I care? I don't think I even have hardly any guns that I bought from friends or family. And they can say anything's illegal, too, nitpicking it. You know, it's the cops show up and say, you know, you have a gun illegally. No, I don't. I don't have your view that my gun's illegal because my grandpa gave it to me 30 years ago. You know, they can frame anything the way they want it to.
Yeah, and I would strongly suggest that it's a great barometer of an economic catastrophe when the escalation of gun grabbing goes on. That's a time where you've got to start thinking about whatever savings you got, whatever finances you've got.
That's right. They're going to take everything else when they go for the guns. Robert in Mass, you're on the air. It's the canary in the coal mine. Go ahead, Robert.
How you doing, Alex?
I'm good. Go ahead.
I just want to say you're doing a great job. You're a true American patriot, and the spirit of 76 lives on.
Thank you, brother. What's your question or comment?
Well, my question is about the IRS. It's not a question, it's just a point. I'm from Massachusetts. We're under a form of Obamacare here already. And just to back up what you stated, that they are going to go after your bank accounts, they are going to go after your tax returns, that's already happening here in Massachusetts. If you don't cover yourself for the year when you go to file your taxes, they take it out of your tax return. My other point is I'm a kind of hands-on guy. I like to get in people's faces. I call senators, I call congressmen on gun control. I call CNN, I call MSNBC, just to let these people know that there are people out there who do care about the Constitution in this country.
Oh, there are a lot of people that care. But, you know, the bill, and now the IRS announced last week they're going to take the money out of your bank account And they go, but Obama promised they wouldn't. Well, why do they have it in there to take $5,000 out then if they're not going to do it?
But a politician promise is such a non-argument. I can't believe people...
Caller, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I just wanted to say what an excellent guest you have on, and I'd like his take on what he thinks it's going to take for the American people to finally have enough.
That's right. Will there be a big flashpoint or will it be gradual?
We're on the march.